The Whimsical Wanderings of Gabby Gwen. Oh, Quirky Quill, what a delightfully dreary day for some dimension hopping and curio collecting. Gabby Gwen exclaims as she bustles about her craft and teleport station. Thunder rumbles ominously outside as rain patters against the windows. Indeed, Gwen. Nothing like a bit of stormy weather to set the mood for interdimensional shopping, the snarky magic journal replies. Though I do hope you'll be more selective with your purchases this time. My pages are getting rather crowded with all your trading cards and craft supplies. Now, don't be such a fussy book, Gwen chides playfully. You know you love being embellished. Speaking of which, how do you like my outfit for today's adventures? Ah yes, let me have a look, Quirky Quill says. Tall updo with a whimsy veil, platform clogs, and is that your detachable overskirt I spy? Quite the eclectic ensemble as usual. You know it. I've adorned the overskirt with appliques, paint splatters, and snippets of lace. And look, I've braided it into my updo as well. Isn't it marvelous? Marvelous is certainly one word for it, the journal replies dryly. Though bizarre or outlandish might be more fitting descriptors. Oh hush, you sassy book, Gwen laughs. Now then, shall we begin our teleportation journey? By all means. Where to first? I'm thinking we'll start with the Twilight Train. I hear they have the most darling trading cards of miniature tea rooms. All aboard the Twilight Train. A ghostly conductor's voice echoes as Gwen and her journal materialize in a misty train car. Next stop, the Netherworld Halloween Garden. Ooh, spooky. Gwen squeals with delight. I simply must check out their selection of jack-o'-lanterns and ghostly garden gnomes. Welcome, welcome. A cackling voice greets them as they disembark. I'm Battyman, proprietor of this haunted horticultural haven. Care for a tour of our ghastly greenery? Why thank you, good sir. I'd be delighted, Gwen replies. Splendid. Right this way, past the man-eating marigolds and carnivorous chrysanthemums. My, what fascinating flora. Gwen exclaims. Oh look, Quirky Quill, trading cards featuring spooky topiaries. I simply must add these to my collection. Of course you must, the journal sighs. Heaven forbid we leave any dimension without acquiring more clutter for my pages. Now don't be such a grump, Gwen admonishes. Ooh, and look at these darling ghost pepper plants. I bet they'd make a smashing addition to my indoor garden. Careful now, Battyman warns. Those peppers pack quite the paranormal punch. One bite and you'll be breathing fire for a fortnight. How thrilling. Gwen claps her hands. I'll take a dozen seedlings, please. Excellent choice, madam, Battyman grins, revealing pointed fangs. Might I interest you in some vampire vine to go with them? It's to die for literally. Oh my, that does sound tempting, Gwen muses. But perhaps we should move along to our next destination before I buy out your entire shop. Quirky Quill, where to next? According to my itinerary, we're due for a visit to the glitter-mixing gazebo, the journal replies. Splendid. I've been wanting to create some new sparkly concoctions, Gwen says. Ta-ta, Battyman. It's been frightfully fun. With a wave of her wand, Gwen and Quirky Quill vanish in a shower of shimmering mist, reappearing moments later in a crystal gazebo filled with swirling, glittering particles. Welcome to the glitter-mixing gazebo. A cheerful voice pipes up. I'm Tacky Duck, master of all things sparkly and shiny. How may I bedazzle you today? Why hello there, you fancy fowl. Gwen greets him. I'm looking to whip up some new glitter blends for my latest art journal pages. Any recommendations? But of course. Might I suggest our signature Twilight Twinkle mix? It's a delightful combination of starlight silver, midnight blue, and aurora borealis flakes. Ooh, that sounds positively magical. Gwen exclaims. If I may interject, Quirky Quill chimes in, perhaps something a bit more subdued might be in order. My pages can only handle so much sparkle before they start to resemble a disco ball. Nonsense. Gwen scoffs. There's no such thing as too much glitter. I'll take a large batch of the Twilight Twinkle, please. Oh, and throw in some rainbow radiance and unicorn dust while you're at it. Coming right up. Tacky Duck says with a flourish. And might I add, your ensemble could use a bit of pizzazz. Allow me to work my magic. With a wave of his glittery wing, Gwen's outfit transforms into a riot of sequins, rhinestones, and holographic fabrics. Oh my. Gwen gasps, admiring her new look. It's absolutely dazzling. What do you think, Quirky Quill? I think I may need sunglasses just to look at you, the journal grumbles. But I suppose it suits your unique sense of style. You're such a dear, Gwen laughs. Now then, shall we pop over to the Lolita Club garden? I hear they're having a tea party today. In a flash, Gwen and her journal materialize in a pastel paradise of frills and lace. Delicate tea tables are scattered about, surrounded by mannequins modeling elaborate Lolita fashions. Greetings, darling. A high-pitched voice calls out. I'm Frilly Fran, hostess of this kawaii gathering. Care for some bubble tea and macaron? How lovely. Gwen exclaims. I'd be delighted. Oh, and do tell me about these exquisite gowns. That one with the cupcake print is simply adorable. Isn't it just? Frilly Fran gushes. That's our newest sweet Lolita design, complete with detachable frosting-inspired overskirt and a bonnet shaped like a cherry on top. I simply must try it on, Gwen declares. Quirky Quill, be a dear and snap a photo for my fashion trading card collection. As you wish, the journal sighs. Though I must say, between the glitter explosion and now this confectionery couture, you're beginning to resemble a walking dessert cart. Oh hush, you sassy book, Gwen laughs. Fashion is meant to be fun. Now then, let's see what other delightful designs they have. Several outfit changes and tea refills later, Gwen emerges from the dressing room in a dizzying array of ruffles, bows, and pastel prints. I'll take them all. She declares. Splendid choice, darling. Frilly Fran claps her hands. Shall I wrap them up or will you wear them out? Oh, I think I'll layer them all on now, Gwen says. One can never have too many frills, after all. I beg to differ, Quirky Quill mutters. But I suppose there's no talking you out of it. Where to next on this fashion fever dream of a journey? Let's pay a visit to the comic book topiary's tea room, Gwen suggests. I hear they have the most amusing conversationalists. With a twirl and a giggle, Gwen teleports them to a whimsical garden where sculpted shrubbery in the shape of cartoon characters sip tea and chat animatedly. Well, what have we here? A leafy figure resembling a well-known Caped Crusader asks. Looks like we've got ourselves a walking cupcake. Now, Batsy, a feline-shaped topiary chides. Don't be rude to our guest. Even if she does look good enough to eat. Why thank you, I think, Gwen laughs. I'm Gabby Gwen, dimension-hopping fashionista and collector of curiosities. And who might you leafy lovelies be? I'm Cattywoman, the feline topiary purrs. And this is my dear friend, the Bark Knight. Care to join us for some herbal tea and witty repartee? I'd be delighted. Gwen exclaims, settling onto a toadstool-shaped chair. Oh, and look at these darling trading cards featuring comic book characters as topiaries. Quirky Quill, we simply must add these to our collection. Of course we must, the journal sighs. Heaven forbid we leave any dimension without acquiring more paper products to clutter my pages. Don't mind him, Gwen tells her new leafy friends. He's just a bit of a grump. Now then, tell me all about the latest gossip in the comic book world. As Gwen chats and sips tea with her topiary companions, a commotion erupts nearby. Unhand that teapot, you fiendish fern. A booming voice declares. Oh my, what's all this then? Gwen asks, peering around a hedge. It's the Joker Juniper. Cattywoman explains. He's always causing mischief in the garden. I'll teach you to mess with my Earl Grey, you botanical buffoon. The voice continues. A towering topiary shaped like a caped figure swoops down, tackling a giggling shrub with wild, spiky leaves. How exciting! Gwen claps her hands. I do love a bit of garden variety drama. Oh, that gives me an idea for a new fashion line, heroic horticulture. Capes made of living vines, utility belts fashioned from flowering creepers. Fascinating, Quirky Quill drawls. But perhaps we should move along before you get any more outlandish ideas. We still have several stops on our itinerary, you know. Oh, very well, Gwen sighs. Though I do hate to leave such stimulating company. Farewell, my leafy friends. Do keep me posted on all the topiary tea time drama. With a wave of her wand, Gwen and her journal vanish in a swirl of flower petals, reappearing moments later in a dazzling crystal palace. Welcome to the castle of candy piñatas. A jovial voice booms. I'm John Candy the Candy Meister, purveyor of the finest confectionery creations in all the dimensions. How delightful! Gwen exclaims, gazing in wonder at the towering structures made entirely of sweets. I've never seen such marvelous candy constructions. Ah, but these are no ordinary candies, my dear, John Candy explains with a wink. Each piñata is filled with magical treats that grant the eater temporary superpowers. Fascinating. Gwen gasps. Do tell me more. Well, take this licorice lasso piñata, for instance, he says, gesturing to a coiled rope-shaped creation. Break it open, and you'll find candies that allow you to stretch and contort your body like rubber. How marvelous. And what about that one shaped like a crystal ball? Ah, the clairvoyant cotton candy. Its fluffy interior is filled with treats that grant brief glimpses of the future. Though I must warn you, the visions tend to be rather whimsical in nature. I simply must try them all. Gwen declares. Quirky Quill, prepare to document my candy-induced superpowers. Oh joy, the journal deadpans. Because you weren't chaotic enough already. This should end well. Several piñata smashings later, Gwen finds herself floating near the ceiling, giggling uncontrollably as multicolored sparks shoot from her fingertips. Look at me, Quirky Quill. I'm a human fireworks display. Yes, very impressive, the journal sighs. Now can we please move on before you set something on fire? We still have the patio of perfumes to visit, remember? Oh, all right, Gwen pouts, slowly drifting back to the ground. Thank you for the marvelous adventure, John Candy. I'll be sure to recommend your castle to all my dimension-hopping friends. With a snap of her fingers, Gwen and Quirky Quill vanish in a shower of candy sprinkles, reappearing on an elegant patio surrounded by an array of colorful bottles and vials. Ah, the sweet smell of success. A melodious voice greets them. Welcome to the patio of perfumes, darlings. I'm Eau de Colonial, master perfumer extraordinaire. How delightful. Gwen exclaims, inhaling deeply. Oh my, what is that heavenly scent? It smells like moonlight on dewdrops with a hint of stardust. Ah, you have an excellent nose, my dear, Eau de Colonial says approvingly. That's our newest creation, Celestial Serenade. Care for a spritz? Oh, yes please. Gwen gushes. And do tell me about your other fragrances. I simply must sample them all. Well, we have whimsical wanderlust, a blend of far-off lands and magical realms, the perfumer explains, gesturing to a swirling, iridescent bottle. And over here is enchanted effervescence, which smells like laughter and bubbles on a summer breeze. They all sound positively magical. Gwen sighs dreamily. I'll take one of each, please. Excellent choice, darling, Eau de Colonial beams. And might I suggest our newest line of scented accessories? We have charm bracelets that release bursts of fragrance with each jingle, and hair clips that waft different scents as you move. Oh my, how innovative. Gwen gasps. I simply must have those as well. Quirky Quill, make a note, we simply must incorporate scented elements into our next fashion line. Noted, the journal replies dryly. Though I shudder to think what olfactory overload you'll concoct. Ode to everything, perhaps? Oh, don't be such a stuffy book, Gwen laughs. Fashion should engage all the senses. Now then, shall we make our way to the woodland of tea blending? I'm feeling rather parched after all this fragrant fun. In a puff of perfumed mist, Gwen and her journal materialize in a misty forest glade. Delicate tea leaves flutter through the air like butterflies, while steaming streams of various brews wind their way through the underbrush. Welcome, welcome. A chorus of voices greets them. 5 jesters Jackie, Jaunty, Jangly, Juggy, and Joshy come cartwheeling out from behind the trees, their bells jingling merrily. Step right up for the terrific taste sensation of a lifetime. Jackie announces. We've got tisanes to tantalize. Jaunty adds. Terrines to tempt. Jangly chimes in. Tarts to tickle your taste buds. Juggy declares. And toddies to warm your toes. Joshy concludes with a flourish.